All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, most painful plays in all of American theater. Eugene O'Neill's Long Day's Journey into Night isn't just a play, it's like an emotional autopsy of a family. It's a raw, unflinching look at love, resentment, and all the ghosts that hold a family together and tear it apart.
This line, right here, this is everything. The mother, Mary, says this, and it is the absolute key that unlocks this entire story. For the Tyrone family, the past isn't something that's over and done with. Oh no. It is a living, breathing thing in their house that controls every single thing they say and do.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to spend a single day with the Tyrones to really set the scene. Then, we'll get into the messy stuff, their addictions and the ghosts of their past. We'll map out the destructive cycle they're all trapped in. And finally, we'll get to why this play was so deeply, deeply personal for O'Neill himself. Okay, so picture this. The entire play takes place over just one day. A single, long pressure cooker of a day in August 1912, from the morning all the way to midnight. And we are stuck with them in the living room of their summer home. There is literally no escape. And you've got to pay attention to the fog. O'Neill is very specific about it. It rolls in and just blankets everything. But it's not just weather, you know? It's a symbol for everything they're trying to hide from. The denial, the secrets, the booze, the morphine. It's the haze they live in so they don't have to face reality. And here are the four souls trapped in that foggy house. You've got Mary, the mother, whose morphine addiction is the family's big, open secret. There's James, the father, a once great actor, who is so terrified of being poor that he makes everyone miserable. Then there's the oldest son, Jamie, a bitter alcoholic who masks his self-hatred with cynicism. And finally, Edmund, the youngest. He's the sensitive one, and his serious illness is the catalyst that's about to blow this whole thing wide open. Which leads us right to their addictions. And in this play, addiction means more than just a substance. It's really about any crutch, anything you use to escape a pain that's just too much to bear. Each character has their own personal poison, and each one tells you exactly what wound they're trying to hide. And this chart lays it all out, doesn't it? For Mary, morphine numbs the grief for the life she thought she'd have. For James, it's cheap whiskey and hoarding money, because he can't escape the memory of his childhood poverty or the fact that he sold out his artistic talent. And Jamie, his poisons are booze and a cynical attitude that protects him from feeling his own failure and his awful resentment toward his brother. So we come right back to that line, the past is the present. See, for the Tyrones, history isn't just a bunch of stories they tell. It's an active, angry ghost in the room with them, constantly being brought up, refought, and relived every single day. This is a perfect example. James looks back on their early life together and sees this triumphant story of success. But Mary remembers that exact same time and sees only what she gave up, what she lost. They lived the same life, but they have two completely different stories. And because they can't agree on the past, their present is just a constant war zone. And all of this traps them in this brutal, repetitive cycle. It's a toxic pattern of blame, accusation, and retreat that defines how they talk to each other. What's so tragic is that you know they love each other, they really do, but they've completely forgotten how to show it in any way that doesn't cause pain. And here's what that cycle looks like. You can set your watch to it. It starts with this tiny, fragile moment of kindness, a glimpse of the family they could be. But then, bam, someone brings up an old wound. The blame game starts. Then they all run to their corners, to the morphine, the whiskey, the sarcasm, and the whole thing ends with these brief, guilty apologies, right before it starts all over again.
So why does this all feel so devastatingly real? Well, because it was. To really get this play, you have to know that Eugene O'Neill wasn't just making this up. He famously said he wrote it in tears and blood, and he meant it. This wasn't fiction.
This is the big reveal, the crucial piece of the puzzle. The Tyrones are the O'Neills. His actual mother was a morphine addict. His father was a famous actor who felt he'd wasted his talent. His older brother was an alcoholic who died young. And Edmund, the sensitive poet with consumption, that's Eugene O'Neill. He wrote this play to stare his own family's ghosts right in the face. And the play is structured to feel like this long, slow collapse. As the day turns to night, as the fog gets thicker and everyone gets drunker, all those masks they wear just start to crumble.
The final act is just one gut punch confession after another as they finally say the things they've been hiding from their entire lives. First, James finally drops the act and admits his deepest regret, that he sold out. His fear of being poor made him choose a career of easy money over true artistry, and that one decision poisoned his whole life and his family. Then comes Jamie's confession, and wow, it is brutal. He tells his little brother Edmund that he loves him, but that he also hates him and has always wanted to see him fail, to drag him down into the gutter with him. It's this absolutely toxic mix of love and resentment, and it's just devastating to hear.
And finally, Mary delivers the last blow. She comes downstairs, totally lost in a morphine haze, clutching her old wedding dress. She's not even in the present anymore. She's back in her girlhood, before she ever met James, before she had children. She basically erases her entire life with them, right in front of their eyes. It's the ultimate abandonment.
But here's the most important thing to take away from all this. O'Neill wouldn't even let this play be published until 25 years after he died. That's how personal it was. He wasn't writing it to get revenge or to condemn his family. He was writing it to try and understand them, to find some kind of pity and maybe even forgiveness for these people he loved who had destroyed each other.
The play just ends. There's no resolution, no happy ending. They're just left sitting there in the dark. And it leaves us with this huge, haunting question. The Tyrone's story is their own, but the problem is universal, and it forces us to ask ourselves, how do we deal with the messy, complicated, painful love that holds our own families together?